So I know a quote today as well. I think that quote was like very interesting to me. It's like every market is competitive until you are somebody and it becomes asymmetrical. Okay, so welcome to another podcast, the Clear Growth podcast. So it's been a while because we are on holidays and stuff like that. Yeah, and yeah, doing our own stuff. Clearly, creating new habits for the new year as well. Yeah, so I think we went on some holidays. You guys want to share where you went and what you do?
Okay, so went on a long holiday in Japan, right? Tokyo and Osaka, lah, to be precise. Yeah, actually nothing much to update other than I proposed to my girlfriend, I guess. So engaged like the current moment.
So everybody do give a good long congratulations to Elias. Yeah, but let's go straight in. Obviously you had a good rest in the New Year's in January and also in December. So yeah, let's go back to what we want to talk about today. Right. So today actually I kind of like want to talk about a few things, and you want to talk about a few things. So first thing I want to talk about is a brand, right? I think a lot of people in the direct response space don't talk about this because they say if you can run ads, you can create a great offer, you can make money, right? And then when ads spend rises, you can't really do that. Then you need to amplify all the strategies, which is what we do very well as well. But in the end, like creators, influencers, and also like people who are known for certain things actually stand out. Right? So I know a quote today as well. I think that quote was like very interesting to me. It's like every market is competitive until you are somebody and it becomes asymmetric. Like the efforts that will just stack for you, right? I might be butchering the quotes, but it just means that like every market seems hard at first, but once you are that somebody in that market, everything seems easy, and that is true, right? So that's what brand is about for me. And I think Chris Do in a previous podcast also said that brand is what people like kind of predict you do, right? And what people say about you rather than what you do yourself. And that is like a brilliant way of like kind of like painting the picture. A lot of people downplay the effect of branding in a sense, but you can see Grant Cardone, all the other big players, even Taylor Welch right now, and the other, I would say, big names in the internet marketing space, business, property. Basically, anybody who sells things online. The biggest players are the one with the biggest brands, reach, and impressions, and they don't really run a lot of ads per se, right? Compared to some people who run more ads than them but earn less money. Yeah. So, what do you think about it? You know.
Mm, yeah, I think I have similar thoughts, but you helped me to like sort of respark one memory and valuable lesson that I learned a couple of years ago, right? Number one, it's about understanding competitor versus competition,
Mhm.
right? So competitor and competition are generally two different things, at least in my book. Competitors are, I would say, people who are really in like your direct competitors lah, and then competition is everyone else. So more specifically, let's say you are a restaurant, Italian restaurant lah, right? So your competitors are other Italian restaurants. Makes sense, right? But your
Mhm.
competition are basically anyone is in the F&B scene, including McDonald's, right? So I think this leads to the problem where a lot of people just think that okay, I'm a F&B business, I'm in the solving hunger business. Not exactly true, right? Because end of the day, if someone is really just there to solve their hunger, they probably go for the most cheapest alternative,
Mhm.
right? So I saw this video. I think on YouTube or TikTok somewhere where it was this restaurant manager that's giving his team sort of like a huddle lah, hyping them up before service, right? And then he told all the waiters and waitresses and chefs and said that if you think that you are currently in the F&B business, you're wrong. We are in the entertainment business.
Mhm.
Right, so why people go to the restaurants is because they want the ambience, they want the service, they want to hear the fork and spoon, the clink and clunks. Right, of course the food must taste good, right? But it's the overall experience,
Yes.
right? So I think this is something that a lot of business owners tend to overlook, right? Because most of the time, if let's say you're a coach, personal trainer, I mean, yes, end of the day, people do want results, but what do they want together with the results as well, right? Accountability. They want to feel heard. They want to make sure that their diet and everything fits within their lifestyle,
Mhm.
right? So that's when you mentioned about brand, that kind of came into mind, lah.
Yeah, so a bigger portion of it also as well is like understanding the full what customer really wants and what you think they want might not be real because assumptions is not true. Sometimes people create products and then assume that it's true. We went to an event yesterday and they were saying like most businesses fail because the surveys don't really work. And they say doesn't mean they do.
Mm.
Right, which is very true, which is why I don't care. As long as you vote with your wallet, then it's true. That's the number one thing,
Yep,
right?
yep.
But brand, especially personal brand, right, is similar in that area. But for me, right, the easiest way to build brand, one thing is also experience, but second thing is get validation on a certain success and then become that person, right? So I think I shared to one of my coaches before, right? So they were asking how to like refer. How do you get people to view you as a certain way? Let's just say, do they have a marketer? I want to be a CMO, right? How do I get everyone else to view me as a CMO? That become my brand, which is like very, very difficult, right? The first thing you do is you refer yourself as the one, and then you keep saying it to the point other people say it, right? Most people don't do that. They say, which is why I can, for me last time I was like, oh, we do like prepaid funnels, then we do YouTube ads, and now I just do scaling, right? And people say what I say in the end because like most people don't embody their brand or they even talk about themselves that way. It's a very like narcissistic manner, I feel, but it's a need, right, to become that person or to get people to refer you as that person. And then the more you say, the more other people say, it becomes a network, like kind of network effect, right? They refer you based on whatever you say. Doesn't necessarily needs to be what you say, but they will refer you according to what you feel, what you portray, what you technically brand yourself as. Which some of my clients are having difficulty previously when I talk to them, right? So what
Mm.
do you stand for? What do you really sell? What's your brand, right? They don't really have a clear idea because they don't refer themselves to anything, and that's a
So
problem.
is it like you must first like accept your identity or have an identity, then people
Okay.
will know how to refer you?
Yeah, so the easiest phase last time my mentor at very at the start taught me, right? One of my first mentors, he said, do you want to be known as the X guy? Right? If you don't want, right, then don't do that thing. And or refer yourself as the X person. So last time previously, like, oh I said, oh this guy sell diapers very good. Then he asked me, like, do you want to be known as the diapers guy? Then I'm like, wow. No, damn, I don't really want to be known as that. Damn it. Like, okay, that fine, fine. I won't sell like diapers as e-commerce, right? That was like very, very long ago. Then I'm like, okay, that always stick in my mind. So what do you want people? Okay, so the number one factor either for referrals or networking, for what your word of mouth, right? And what's your brand? Very easy.
Mm.
I always ask, so your clients, how do your clients refer you to their friends that, or like refer to potential prospects? What do they say about you? Most of the time, if you're not clear, they cannot answer at all. Like, I don't know, bro, like, help me a lot in my business, or then like, what's that? Like, yeah, so that's like the main issues like with a lot of people with no clarity. And if you're new, or if you are in like a chaotic situation in brand, just pick one. Be that one thing, right? Don't You can jump, right? It's not like you don't need to be that person forever as well, most of the time. Humans change. So yeah, that's my how I look at it. And then your network effect will be much bigger, lah, which is why last time I attribute a lot of my success through that effect and word of mouth. Yeah, I just do YouTube, then ads, and everybody say, hey, this guy do YouTube ads in Asia, Singapore, and I just keep coming. Leads, free leads, free purchases, free customers, right? And then that's essentially like how I previously built the business. Same as now still, but now it's different. Like we can help scale, we can do all these things. Yeah. And find hidden profits, right? So that's how I like see it. Also, I don't really like to say I'm the scaling guy because that's very boring. And there's another point, right? So let's just say I'm the Facebook ads guy. I tell you, so many Facebook ads guy,
A
you
lot
cannot
now,
stand out.
yeah.
Yeah, they're like, then you change something, right? So then now we talk about extracting hidden profit and the guy that maximize value of your customers in your business. Okay, that's better.
Mm.
Much better than a scale 100K or that. Like, but like, no, everybody does that. Like, it's like I can take that title, take that title, put another person. Okay, no difference. And that's also how I view it to be entertaining as well. So like I say, like we're all in the entertainment as well. And especially if we like consult coach other coaches and entrepreneurs, right? We essentially are solving like a community problem most of the time to a certain extent, right? They're lonely, they don't know who to talk to solve the problems, then they very stressed. I mean, we are all the same, right? As entrepreneurs, we will go through that phase. Yeah, so then we help through them through the problems. We also make small talk, become their friends, have someone to really understand them, which is the main goal of everything. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, I still remember the days right when you were positioned as like the YouTube guy in like 2 to 3 years ago. The amount of clients that come to you non-stop,
Like free.
free, really free.
I
Yeah,
want to stop also. I don't really have time to like rest because I have US and Asia, like Singapore, Malaysia clients. And it was like morning, night, also got calls, and it was quite painful.
mm.
And then I don't even have time to like fulfill, right? I don't- like I don't even cannot even like rest. Yeah, that was quite bad. But taught me a valuable experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I also want to share one more thing before we go to your part is yesterday I went to an event and a mingle by Alvin, Poe and Stuart and just a mingle around with like other entrepreneurs and people who are successful, right?
Mm.
So I think particularly two talks stand in mind. One is Alvin Huang and the other one is Rich Burns, which runs ROAS Media. First thing that really came into what Alvin says in terms of probability of success in your growth levers. He told me this personally before, and I get it, but in a sense, I don't know how to put it in a way. Like I get inspired every time I hear it. So for growth lever, let's just say for e-com company or a D2C company or selling products, digital small digital products, your number one growth lever is to create more products. Because more products equal chance of having home run product higher every year. Right? Every year you create let's just say five or six. Compare you create one, your probability of the success of a home run offer to spend 5K, 10K a day way higher than you do one offer. Right. So let's just say you put into a coaching's perspective. Right. Same thing. Instead of offers, now you create more ads, more angles for media buying. Same for optimizing. That is like usually what people do when the whole business is stable and scaled up to a certain level. Yeah. So then that's one of the growth levers, right? But there are other growth levers in the coaching business as well. What can we manipulate on? There's price. There's more offers on the back end to increase LTV. There is creating more ads, right? There's also optimizing the whole conversion to increase conversion. So these are all the growth levers that we identify for our clients that they can easily kind of tap into what to do and then scale. I think this is very, very important to be clear, right, on what you need to do, right? It's not more funnels, more different products sometimes, right? Sometimes it does work, not saying it doesn't, but okay, where can you put your energy in terms of prioritization? If you know this works very well for a business, can you double down, triple down, right? Most people don't reflect on that, yeah. So you kind of reflect on my various businesses I have and I know what to kind of do much better.
Mm. Okay, so I got some follow up question
Mm.
because I'm also quite intrigued in this concept. Okay, so let's say there's a solopreneur coach lah,
Ah,
one man team,
yes.
all right, and then he has his offer. What's a good example? Okay, it's just PT lah. I think PT is the most easy to understand,
Okay,
right?
training, yeah.
Uh,
Physical training.
yep, correct. So how would this concept help him? Like, he's not supposed to create different offers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that would lead to a lot of shiny object syndrome, shiny funnel syndrome, lah, like what we mentioned before.
Okay. So I think first thing first is understanding the full context. So the what's the main offer? Is it a one-on-one? Is it a group coaching? Is it online thing? So I don't say create many different types of offer, right? But you can create different formats of delivery so you can scale having more clients. Right. So leverage is there. It's the same thing. It's just how you deliver, right? Is it a group, is it Zoom online, is it a one-on-one? So I just say one-on-one, right? But one-on-one he's charging like 1K a month. I know like one-on-one maybe can charge 2, 3K max depending on what you do, right? Okay, so that's 1K, right? So can I make 1.5? Can I do that? Right? And then okay, what is the funnel that he hasn't doubled down on because he has no time? Let's just say he's doing LinkedIn lead gen, organic. Can I get a VA to do that for him? Can I get a copywriter to part-time one to write content to nurture people? Can I double down the number of connections every single day? Yeah. And then can I increase the conversions, right? Because I know that's working. Can I triple down and make it work better and better and better? Until he's so painful to the point that he needs to change the delivery, right? Let's say he's doing one-on-one. He know like 1 month he can do like 50, 80 one-on-one clients.
Yeah,
But now he at 30. And if you jump until 50, you miss basically you push up until you hit like 50 or 80 the maximum, right? Or near there. Then you know, hey, I need to hire, I need to do all these things to actually create a system so that I don't die fulfilling.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then that's what I would first do lah. So basically get more money with the current processes that he is doing. And that is growth levers, right? If you really sit down, really ask the right questions, you should get the right answers to your business as you know your business the best. But most of them fall within the few same categories because we have done so many times. And then it's very, very easy for us to spot instantly. Yeah. And then if you use data, right? If you really go and track data and really can see opportunities, even better, right? Data compare with average, like across industry, then you make it better. Then after you average, you win average or are at the average of the industry, then you challenge your assumptions. Can you be better than the average? Which is a total different game, which is where innovation starts.
Yes,
Right.
correct.
But don't do like that until you hit like oh you have a team running, you have like consistently flow and the business is growing. And don't do all the fancy stuff before you do the fundamental foundation. A lot of people like get drawn there, but you don't make money getting drawn there. That's the problem.
Innovation is important, but innovating at the right time is more important.
Yeah, innovating at the right time more important. Timing is way more important than prioritization. Then not all funnels are meant for you. So don't get distracted. Everybody is peddling their own opinions. Like even us, right? So we're peddling more like maximization before innovation, right? If you believe in that, like that is great. But if you don't believe in that, go and try it. See whether does that work for you. Some dies, some doesn't. Everything works, right? That's a problem. Everything works. But
Mm,
when you overthink on certain things you need to do for your business, it becomes very bad. You get procrastinate, you don't know what's the right move, and then you cannot function your business properly. But if you don't have someone doing it for you and you're doing everything yourself, and you stop what you're doing to do another thing, that's the worst scenario you can do, right? It doesn't sound logical when I say it, but people still do it. You get what I mean? Even I do it sometimes, right? Then I catch myself.
yeah.
But yeah, it's normal. It's all human behavior.
Yeah, but at least you know when to catch yourself. Right? That's the most important thing.
Yeah. I think the second point also in the event is hiring, right? I think that was like interesting because
Say it's who?
Richburn and Alvin also, but hiring and also funny is like financial side. You hire finance people, lah, right? Very early on because like if not, you go your brain just pain, especially when you do like 7 figures or 8 figures and then everything is in chaos. You are like you want to pull your hair out
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
you never keep all your books properly, right? But that's beside the point. So they talk about hiring, about attracting the right people, and being charismatic rather than being an expert in everything that you a skill set, right? So if you want to scale a business, the number one skill that you need to do is be charismatic and have like heart for your people, lah. And that is like you talk about mission, you talk about things, you meet them, all the things you hear. So hiring is like attracting people, retention, and also succession plan, right? They will leave. If the average tenure of like a employee is like 3 years, actually that's pretty good, honestly. Yeah. When I first started, I didn't, hey, this person gonna be forever with me, but that's not gonna happen. Yeah, you're gonna be able to earn more money outside. Who in the right mind wouldn't take a job earning more money outside?
Yeah.
Even I would, right? So I cannot expect them based on loyalty. It's not like we are blood related or what. It's just uh exchange, right? And you learn skills, you can kind of I'm happy if you go out there earn more money. Right, that's the goal. But I thought about succession planning is that you create systems and SOPs so that any point anybody leave, you don't get destroyed. Yeah. And then it's like a constant hiring funnel and flow, right? And that's important. And like, yeah, so that's why building a brand, right? Coming back to the first point is important, especially for leaders, right? Depending on how big you want to build, I'm not saying, but you can attract the right people to work for you very easily.
Mm, mm.
And that's like a leverage point, right? Depending whether you want to be famous or not, but there's a leverage. Or you can use your company as a brand, right? Let's say you work for Nike, you work for Meta, you work for Google, Alphabet, right? You will work, right? Hey, wow, these are great companies. And then the brand precedes. Like even if like low pay or what, you still go. Because you know I go there, I go another place, I will make more money. You leverage on their brand. Yeah, precisely the fact hiring is like so important that even like after your core stage, which is like product market fit and getting to like 6 7 figures, and from there you need to duplicate, which is harder than it seems.
Much
Yeah.
harder. I haven't cracked the hiring game.
Hiring game. There's no such thing as cracking, it's just like consistent optimization. It's human, you're dealing with humans, you're not dealing with like robots.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, let's go to what you want to talk about.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I think the one thing that I want to talk about attracting affluent customers. So want to talk about this is because like in the past, or rather not too long ago, there were some couple of some old clients lah, right? Then their common feedback was, oh, we need to attract the right leads, and then their leads are the more affluent people. Okay, so I would say we more or less cracked it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then sad to say that it's not by adjusting all those kind of Facebook targeting, right? Because Facebook targeting getting less and less. But it's more of messaging co-op and also fine tuning the offer, right? So I think a lot of people tend to miss out is that when they create their offers, right, they are trying to please everyone. Okay, but the more affluent people, the richer people, from what I found from my own research and from testing, is that they tend to want quite different things. Okay,
Mm.
so for example, let's say for the richer people, they generally like to throw money to get results faster and easier.
Yeah.
That's something that I found. right? And then there's of course a lot of ego appeal. They want to be in a community where it's not easy to get access to. And then when it comes to like making money or everything, they want to have an edge above their peers, their competitors.
Yep.
Yeah, psychologically that's something that I found that when we tweaked, it worked. So again, going back to the PT example, I don't know why today all PT example, right? Okay, so generally a normal PT offer it's maybe 1 month, a few session. I mean, you at the gym at your convenience
Mm-hmm.
anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Maybe added service. I help you do your macros, body fat scan. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
generally maybe that is what most PT offers are, at least from what I see. But this kind of offers they don't really attract the more affluent people,
You don't
right? They don't attract the more affluent people. And if let's say you are a trainer, a solopreneur, a personal trainer who wants to make maybe a 10K income, right?
just do weight loss, man. Don't need to do anything.
So the thing is that if you want to, let's say you're a solopreneur, you don't intend on scaling, maybe you're happy with 8 to 10K income, it's very hard for you to attract the more affluent people who are willing to pay more.
Yep.
Then you're stuck with maybe clients who are paying 400, 500 each per month or even lesser. Then you need to take a lot
Mm.
of clients. Then you
Yep.
become burnout. Right, but a more affluent customer, if let's say, then how would you attract a more affluent customer? So basically, okay, we need to first find out, right? The more affluent people, let's say you're looking for people who are working in high-paying jobs, lah.
Mm.
Performance is key, right? So they want to get the result fast, right, and do it with as little time and little effort as possible.
Correct.
Correct. So what they're looking for, of course, it is a transformation. So if it's me lah, what I will do is also to add, other than the PT session, right, calculate the macros for them, find out their daily lifestyle, right, if possible, partner or JV with a meal prep company,
Mm.
right, have the meals delivered to them, convenience, save time, don't even need to think, right, this kind of people don't like to, don't, their mind is 99% of work one, right. Other than that, you want to make it a bit more lavish, can always partner or JV with, let's say, a more, is it cryotherapy?
Mm.
Yeah, to increase I mean, to reduce the time to recover,
Yep.
right? And of course, all this helps with focus in work. So when
Mm.
you package it like that, you can definitely sell more than 300 to 400 a month.
Yeah.
You could even sell annual
So
package.
I have a client similar to in that space, and also a dating example, dating coach example lah. A few things, right?
Dating
Is
coach.
yeah, I think some of your clients do a lot of webinars, and then they complain why they are not getting affluent clients. A few things is frame, like
Mm,
it's not a leads that are poor, it's the frame that you
the frame.
enter them with, right? Their messaging frame, whatever it may be. Second thing is also people who are rich won't sit through a 3 hour webinar.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was about to go to that point.
Yeah,
They
it's
where got
like
time to
very
sit through the 3 hour.
painful to sit through a 3 hour. Like, I won't even sit through a like even though I use a lot of webinar, I won't even sit through one unless like the topic is super interesting to the point that I cannot like don't sit through, right? Yeah, that's hard. So I have a PT friend, one of the clients, right?
Mm,
Who does peak performance rather than PT lah.
okay.
That's the key, right? You can do all the meal prep and everything. That's great. Fast meals, all that. That's a good idea. But not everyone have like I have a JV or like partner with them. I need to charge higher. So simple idea is like how do you optimize sleep, community, your minds, accountability, and also like health, right? So health can be normal stuff like all the normal trainings that you want to do. You can do 2 3 times a week, and then you do in a gym or in a house. If they have their own house gym, you only aim for those people,
Yep.
right? Executive, and the gym that you go to that they lead them to cannot be what Anytime Fitness, cannot be Gym Box, cannot be all this kind of thing
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Singapore, right?
Correct.
It must be like super what's it called,
Exclusive.
selective, expensive, exclusive, and then very very little people inside one. And then that's the goal, right? It must be nice, the view must be nice, it must have facilities, right? So I go to the same like client as for PT. His gym has what's it called, ice bath or infrared or all the equipment that I never see before.
Yeah.
Got shower, right? And it's provided towels, all I mean that's like bare minimum.
Hmm.
But everything is like there. If you need physios, that's there as well. It's like all like cover all your base. And then, but the main thing that how we sell is like cover peak performance rather than weight loss, rather than it's like more energy. Like I exercise, right? Okay, one thing is because I see a lot of people having health issues. That's one. But that's beside the point. It's like okay, I need better sleep. I need better performance in my day to day, right? So that my business can grow much faster,
Mm.
and I don't feel so sluggish. I don't feel like very low energy. Like then when I meet people also like they also low energy and then they look at me like, hey, not fit, very unhealthy. Right, so I don't want to give off that vibe. I think some people understand. Right. So then okay, I want to be fit, I want to have peak performance, I want this, right? Then I'll go for him. Right? How do you so sometimes it's just about the repackaging. It's
Mm.
not really about that. So I have another friend that does weight loss, but he say he want to do peak performance, but he does nothing for peak performance, only on weight loss. Then it's like there's a mismatch in who you want to attract, and you can't attract them, or cannot retain them even if you attract them. Yeah. So the next question is like not only the offer, is what your brand stands for, right?
Mm.
So if you only do like exercise like that, wow, then half naked, like it's not gonna work lah. You need to talk more about like entrepreneurship stuff, like or how we regulate stress. All these like great informations. Like more in like that, and then like oh this guy like knows what he's doing, and then I'll buy. Yeah, so that's how I see the PT side of things lah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think this idea pop out is also because I think you also know the client, but I don't want to name drop the client, but it's in the trading one. He's often not very easy to understand, but after testing several messaging, then we started to attract the right audience.
Yeah, but the thing is that like you are overcomplicating. I mean, there's no context. They are not gonna give a lot of context. But you overcomplicate when you overcomplicate the outcome and the mechanism, it becomes harder to attract right
Mm.
people. I think that's how I feel. If you simplify, then it's easier.
We use the
Yeah,
right
that's why.
terminology. Lah.
Correct. You simplify it much easier. Yeah. So then, like, brings to the point of my like the webinar. Like I got a friend. He does a lot of web dating stuff. Then he always say like, why only losers come to my webinar? And I'm like,
Huh?
yeah,
Okay.
you see, I mean, he loosely say that to me. I'm not gonna say who, but like, it's like it's quite a funny term. But he's not. He don't mean that. But he means like the people who no money, not doing well in life, like basically the whole life is not going well for them. They come into the 3 hour webinar to how to find like girls, how to
What
date.
what did he say on the front end?
No, it's a webinar like how to like date lah, like how to get like in a sense like dating life like more confident, a bit self development, a bit more like how to find the right girl, right? That's not the point. The point is that if I'm a C-suite executive, I'm earning like 30K a month, I want to go to a 3 hour webinar. That's one, right? And secondly is that he also said, wow, if I ask them to co-approach. So if people who don't understand what co-approach means, it's basically I go to a girl on the street, let's say in town, I thought say I want your number, right? Basically I just be very, very brave. I have balls of steel to do that. Then he always asks them to do, right? Especially the C-suite executive, right? To do it. And then they die also don't want to do it, right? Why? And then I ask myself, why? So the same point, affluent, right? So if I am earning 30K, do I want to play in the okay, not I don't do hierarchy, right? But do I want to go out there like and embarrass myself? No. I rather go to a high-end bar, buy a drink. And that's still co-approach. But the environment, the packaging, everything is different. You see? So I say, why don't you just like do that rather than ask them go in the
Go
street,
on the
then
street, right?
find some random girl and just say, hey, hi, right? Not I condone, like I don't care about it, but like right, thinking very logically in and like or through offer brains and looking through the lens, right? It doesn't make sense to someone that you want to attract to somebody. You know that they won't do it. You still force them to do it, then what's gonna happen? They're not gonna buy. Or they say I want refund, right? And that's like reality, ma.
He's
It's like
targeting
hard.
C-suites.
No, he's like targeting like he's trying to target like financial advisor director. Means basically anybody earning 10, 20, 30K a month, right? Which is like you can target entrepreneurs as well. I'm not saying you can't, but it's the same problem, right? Isn't it easier? Like okay, if I filter through, right, I go to a high end bar, a high end gym. You are there means you know you are certain standard already, right? Or you got certain money. It's easier to like do what you need to do there rather than because you are a part of the thing compared to on the street you are part of nothing. You need to like rattle your brain, go and figure out how like it's highly stressful in that situation versus the other one is like slightly less stress, much more comfortable to them and they're accustomed to the situation. All they might have to do is not say like, hey, I want your number, my name is what. You just need to give them a few templates to play off. And you can say I buy you a drink. Or you want to go out, have like meal later, like very simple stuff. Rather than, hey, I see your hair very nice. And, I tell you that one is a headache, right? Yeah. So like you play off that point, then okay, affluent, right? Like what you say, like what are you really selling?
Mm.
Convenience in a sense. So do you think they will work very hard to become confident, the guy that you want to they want like you get me? It's not that's not like the point. And they won't sit through a 3 hour webinar. So then like why don't you just do outreach to them? Like LinkedIn is much better, right? You talk about your stories, talk about this, and you get the right people viewing your content and then they convert. And that should be the context, right? So who you want to target at affluent? Let's just say you want to target affluent. Where are they at? What's the offer to really target them? What you say, right? How do you brand? How do you sell them? And then go do it. Very simple, right? The message is it right? Is the offer really right? Yeah. Then you everything will align rather than the other way around. Like you just try webinar, try this, try like you don't understand the context when you're doing that.
Agree. Yeah, which is a nice segue to our next point actually. Uh,
Hmm.
you mentioned about creating the right content to attract the right audience. Speaking about content, the next portion that we kind of want to talk about is diversifying, like diversifying a lead source, or rather, what Dan Kennedy said is diversity leads to stability.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Then
I think,
Kennedy said,
yeah,
uh, I think one point then Kennedy said is the most scary number is one.
mm,
Yeah, so it just means that if you're one funnel, one lead source, one everything, you should be scared.
you're at the mercy of everything.
True lah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But context, right? So when you're scaling.
Mm. Okay, I think this part, yeah. So diversifying, I mean everybody heard about diversifying risk, right? And I think people who are tuning in and listening to this, chances are you are a marketer or is doing something in the digital marketing space, and you also know that the cost per lead is not getting cheaper, man. I mean, it can get
Yeah, it's
cheaper,
only
but the
going up.
cost per acquisition is not getting cheaper,
Mhm.
right? So on my end, on my projects, I actually found that we are starting to get quite a lot of organic sales, right? We
Mm.
haven't started the content game yet, right? But quite a lot of
It's,
organic sales from referral actually currently now.
yeah.
Yeah, which because there was a period where we didn't run any ads, right? So rather than the company like revenue dropping all the way down, it actually didn't decrease that much because we still had the consistent lead flow of organic leads, and these organic leads come from referral,
Mhm.
right? Maybe you can share more on your end because you're also going quite heavy in organic.
Yeah, so diversification is based on lead source, right? So you get organic content based on each platform.
Mm,
You get referrals, you get joint ventures. I think that's like the main few. Yeah, basically these are the main like separations. So referrals are easy to get for certain niches when the stock market and things are going well.
mm,
And it becomes super hard to get when they're not earning money.
of
So
course.
like
Yeah.
it's based on that up and down. But you can always create a system around it, getting more of it, and that is the goal. That's called like applying. So if you really go through Dan Kennedy and like J. Abraham's like stuff on referrals, they do have like a lot of ideas that you can basically go and apply. But it's hard. Some of them are hard to apply, right? Then the next part, once you get referral down, right? Do you do it every month? Do you tell your students every month your referral program, this amount they get, and do you track like, hey, there's a trend, or is it like consistent? Okay, great. Then what do we do, right? So I have no consistency. Every month, 5% will refer the leads, and from there, maybe 30% will convert. Yada yada
Mm,
yada. So you have that consistent flow. That's great. The second part it will be joint ventures. A slightly more nuanced concept that nobody really play around with. People will say, oh, joint ventures means okay, I trading you personal development coach, you send to me, I send to you email. Done. That's joint venture. That's where everybody plays in, right? So you want to play differently as well. So where can you elicit joint ventures? And second, when you do joint ventures, how can you be different rather than sending people to a webinar, right? How can you pre-frame better? How can you introduce them better? Like what specific things make it easier for the other person to help you as well? So from that standpoint, it's actually much easier. So a few things we're doing is like working with more like brick and mortar businesses, and then the simplest thing we can do is to give them X amount of books to give out, right? To their highest paying clients, to people that are like they feel interested in trading. I think that's fine. Technically, they are referring, but they have a pool of people to refer from every single time because they have run a successful business, right? That's an easier way. That's joint venture. Besides only coaches and consultants, like if you in the coaching space, you get another coach to refer, that can be done, right? The other way for referrals or joint ventures is you do a free talk so they get know about you. There's more word of mouth, there's more networking, but know about you. You don't sell anything. They find you and then they buy from you, right? There's a different game. There's more outreach, more TOF, top of funnel, right? The last one is basically all your social media platform, organic and ads. So every platform you can run ads, every platform you can organic. So just play the game. So what people don't realize is that all of them are actually kind of like middle of funnel strategies, right? Except for content, which is mainly top. And you can manipulate that. So the people who do very well understand the TOF top of funnel game very well. So this is for mass market, right? So only mass market offers you can scale like crazy. So that what it means that understand how you're gonna scale TOF and everything else will follow. Your cost will still drop also. Or will maintain, right? Because your brand, not brand, like impression and brand like improves along the way. You can use ads to do it. You can use organic to do it. You can use networking to do it. Doesn't matter how you do it. You can do every one of them as well. You just where you place your efforts and focus on. This is a very hard concept, right? But it's like when you're at 8 figures and 9 figures, you need to use everything. I've
Yep.
seen like friends doing that, right? And they just use everything. They don't care. They just optimize everything. And then sometimes they realize the correlation between they have a lot of influencer talking about them. They have like go on a lot of podcasts. Then their cost really just drop drastically. Right, so can you create that in the system? Can you make it more consistent? That's another thing, right? It's a pain to do that, but once you do it, it's very, very easy to hit the numbers that you want and scale. Eventually, you will scale. So that's the overall thoughts I have in terms of like diversifying your lead source technically. Yeah, the other things will be like your funnel. You get a paid lead, you get a free lead, you get a webinar lead, you get a BSL lead. Those are different, but in terms of traffic alone, this is what I will do. It's a hard pill to swallow most of the time because it's a lot of work.
I feel another hard pill to swallow is in order for people to refer you, your products and service actually have to be very good lah.
Yes. Very good. I think it's subjective, right? Because if you're doing coaching, for me, I think like especially in a digital product slash info coaching space, it's more hard than taking care of the people rather than only like fulfillment. Obviously, fulfillment is one thing, but sometimes not everything can be done. Like people know that they screw up because of them, not like because of you, right? They never do the work or they procrastinate. But as long as you got a heart, right, people still refer, which is like what is missing sometimes. They treat everything like numbers and like, oh, die. And the other point besides the be better in fulfillment is treat people like human beings, then they'll refer. So
A lot of
events,
people miss out
yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah, events, proximity, like really helping them when they like in trouble, like replying to them, really listening to them. Obviously, when you go bigger, it's harder and harder, right? Which is why all the corporate lingo come. I don't know what like you do, don't know what survey, then you compare the score, then see the feedback, right? All these matters. But the crux of it is like the heart to serve in a sense as well. Yeah, every one of like a team member, you have that, and it's great. You build a company in the right way. It's harder than it seems most of the time. In that manner. It's very, very like I only see a handful of people like really building it that way. It's tough.
Having the
Like
right
customer
people.
excellency.
Mm, mm.
Yep. Yeah, I think the last point I want to before we end, right, is talk about play the conversion improvement game before you play the leads game. Right. I think some of the gurus say all industry will become lead gen, which is true. Like in the event evolve into lead gen. Because all offers will become the same based on regulations or whatever, right? Whatever it comes to. Or like everything will become easier and easier. Like with AI, nothing really differentiates each other. You can't really differentiate as much as before. And then just who get the cheapest lead, who can convert the lead. And that's essentially the goal. So you look at like in history, like all the industries. Okay, I give you an example like Vice, right? Gambling. What's the difference between gambling at one casino and another casino? There's literally no
No
freaking
difference.
difference. Yeah, precisely. It's a lead gen game, right? So the only difference is your conversions. How you convert, how you get them to pay more money, how you get them to draw more money, where you place the ATM, where you place the games, how they walk through the whole thing. That is essentially what people always miss out on. Like in the very, very like not advanced, like older industries, they play a lot in that game, right? Like shopping malls are created in a way to ask you to go all the way up. And there's a reason why they do that, because they want the rental, like people will rent shops there to get foot traffic, right? The cinema is on top, people who go through the cinema must go through all the shops. Food court is below, they want to eat something from the shop, they must come down, and they still view more shops. Essentially, it's like they still playing the how do I make one lead convert become 100 like so many customers for the other people that buy my thing as a platform. Yeah, but most people in the business don't see it in that manner. They don't play that game. And when you get too comfortable, so every year, right, I see there's also ups and downs, right? For me, when I get too comfortable, I need to go like an event, talk to people that are inspiring, and then okay, I know what to do, I need to edit these things, right? There's always waves. So go along your waves as well. Optimize your business, but focus more on the conversion element, right? So if you have a great conversion, you never go wrong, you won't die. I know people who like suck at media buying and copywriting. They have a okay offer, but they can sell. And then they can do very well, right? They're like, oh, damn. So if you can sell well, online and offline, great. You will always not suffer, right? And that's like essentially where most people miss out. And then we do agency, we know every time can give people leads. They cannot convert. Like they
Getting
say, not affluent,
getting leads is
not
not an
what.
issue. Yeah, getting leads is not an issue. It's about what the person do after the lead opts in or comes in.
Yeah, precisely. And also solving problems differently lah. So people solve problems with one thing. So just now I was talking to a friend. They say talk about insurance agent, basically insurance department called Qiren in Singapore, right? Talking how they actually map out like wow they do tuition centers, they do enrichment classes, they do like bouncy castles, they do all this. Then the leads all like just freaking like it's an ecosystem that they can buy each other things, right? And then they do insurance. They buy everything. Basically buy everything there. Like they come in from different lead source, different businesses, go all the way up to all the ecosystem. Then one lead become like 10 businesses lead. And that's exactly if you do business like longer term the right way, you can do that. Like look at how Dave Ramsey built his business, look at how Grant Cardone essentially is like following the same trajectory in a longer term horizon. Right? They build this, build that, support that one, build another one, support another business. Then they grow together. And then if the trendy one gets very low cost per lead, great, right? Why? Everything else benefit. And then if you build like longer term in that sense as well, like conversions, how do you link to other businesses, increase your LTV? And that's like very, 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 very long play.
There's a mega long play, but you mentioned
Correct.
what Qiren is it?
Yeah,
I think they did it the right way lah. Cause
they did it very well.
yeah, yesterday I heard. I mean, I was studying like certain business models, also, right? Then one content came out is that uh, most of billionaires don't have more than one business. They always focus on one. But if they have a second one, it's always a very complementary product of the first business, right? So I think a lot of people think that, okay, if I'm in a baby niche, I create more baby product. Not necessarily true, all right? But this particular example that he used is that if let's say he has an e-commerce business, right, supplying, I don't know, like let's say clothes or what, or rather create selling clothes. The only other business that he will start is he will probably just buy over the manufacturing part.
Yeah, bio manufacturing, delivery, export, import,
Yeah,
all the companies.
which all if still falls in the entire process. Like not go and
That
create another
is,
clothes brand.
yeah, that's the depth
Mm,
of the business. I think in terms of like with its clothes brand that I create for maybe diaper, maybe healthcare products for kids. And that one is okay, but it's a pain to do all of that.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
understanding your ecosystem lah. That one most important.
I think I think if you know what ecosystem you play, I think it's so important.
Some
Like
coaches.
what is your strengths? Your strength starting a lot of things is great. If your strength is like maintaining one and optimize, then okay, do one.
Some coaches is once they get the lead, they sell the high ticket. Then after that, they sell another person high ticket. Then they sell another person high ticket, another person high ticket. Wow, that one I feel is a quite a short term play lah.
Yeah, but that's the only way they know how to monetize.
Especially if the other service or product that they're selling is not really complementary. Wow, heartbeat.
Yeah, we should then your list just dies.
They'll die off very fast. Then their list just becomes a cross selling promo list.
Correct.
And then you see the open rate start dropping.
Okay, I think we come to the end of today's podcast. Hope everybody enjoyed what we talked about today. Anything you want us to talk about, do leave a comment. Do like and subscribe as well. I'll see you in the next podcast. Bye.
Bye.